Welcome back to another piece of content. This is Warrior for Christ, and thank you all for tuning in. So, I want to discuss about this drone situation, these mysterious quote unquote drone sightings in New Jersey. And the reason why I say quote unquote, it's because I don't think what the news has been telling us, all these different like mainstream sources and the information that they've been giving away, I don't think it's accurate. And I don't think they're giving us the full truth of what's really going on when it pertains to these quote unquote drones. I think there's something deeper going on than what meets the eye. And, from what I'm seeing or what I've been reading about drones don't really have a long lasting battery span, a battery power, I should say. You know, they've been saying that these drones been up in the air, surrounding neighborhoods. They've been up in this, 400 feet above since November 18th. And that's pretty much a whole month right there. So I'm just trying to figure out how can they be up there that long? Wouldn't they have died out already? Like, wouldn't the power already die out, like, after a few hours? Because I'm pretty sure drones don't have long-lasting battery life. So there's just some plot holes in this whole thing. And when it comes to the government, the technology that they have, um, not just the technology, but they have a lot of information apparently. They apparently know more than us, the public. They're supposed to know more than us, right? You would think with the Homeland Security enforced, you would think they would run that on the whole drone situation. They would had already taken care of that problem already. And there's a lot of people right now in suspense in New Jersey, and they're worried and they're in fear of how dangerous this could possibly be. And if we're talking about this being dangerous and people filled with suspense, I don't think these are drones that these people are so called seeing. You know what I mean? And it's up to you for your own interpretation what you think this could possibly be. I think there's a lot more than what meets the eye. And all the information from NBC News, CNN, New York Post, New York Magazine, all these mainstream like websites, they're definitely hiding something, like they're suppressing information. You know what I mean? It's almost like they're trying to neuter our brains to make it seem like it ain't all that serious. Make it seem like there's nothing really going on. Don't worry. It's not a problem. It's not an issue. But this could possibly be a huge issue down the line. Now, I've heard that there's been some people shooting down these drones up in the sky, and law enforcement is right on when they say do not shoot down those drones, right? But the thing is, I don't even know if I can even call these drones at this point because last time I checked, there is a multitude of laws enforced in New Jersey when it pertains to operating a drone, whether you're a hobbyist or this is professional for you or whatever. Now, me personally, I don't own no drone. I live in the southern part of Jersey. Now, these sightings were reported in apparently Morristown, New Jersey. Um, I think Morristown County, I believe. I gotta fact check the name of the county that these sightings were, being talked about. But I would say in the northern east part of Jersey. There's a lot of counties in New Jersey. It's ridiculous. It's like I feel like sometimes New Jersey is its own country. You know what I mean? And it's like everything just feels far away almost like. But there's something else I want to discuss real quick when it pertains to Donald Trump. And cuz the president, he matters in this situation. And if we're bringing law enforcement into the fold, we're bringing the Homeland Security in the fold, the government, then the president got to be involved in this as well. And when I say Donald Trump, being involved, he definitely knows something that we, the public, do not know because he's the president. But he definitely had some things to say, concerning how these people are handling the whole matter, and they're not handling it well. And we know that Donald Trump is against Joe Biden. And, Donald Trump is somebody that he's a realist and someone that's going to speak his mind. And he has his own brain, his own thoughts and whatnot. And there's something key that he said when he was being, interviewed and whatnot during the press, saying that he was about to take a vacation to Bedminster, New Jersey, and apparently that's where he goes to hang out. That's where his luxurious golf course is located, and that's where he pretty much hangs out most of the time, or when he decides to go on a vacation. But this time he decided not to go on a vacation because of this situation. Now, I had to think about this as to why Donald Trump would not, forgo his vacation to Bedminster. And like I said, there's a deeper reason behind that. And, I had to think about it to myself, and, I didn't want to just come out with a video when I first heard about it because I want to do some information, seeking information, doing some research, looking things up before I go ahead and talking about it, and I think these are more than just little small, um, devices that are up above, they're up in the air around the sky and stuff. Like these have to be like UFOs, bigger than drones. Drones are not really that big. I'm not sure like how big they are, but like they have to be small. You know what I'm saying? And so these are not small devices that are up in the sky. There's no way that could be so. And if they've been, also located in around the Bedminster area, which is where Donald Trump is going to take his vacation, but decided to cancel, you would have to pretty much use your thinking, use your brain as to why that would be the case. You got to think back to, like, in my mind, when I was thinking about this overnight, because I work overnight. And so I was just going into deep thought about this, and I kind of put two and two together when it comes to Bedmeister, these quote unquote drone sightings around that area too, him not want to, go on his vacation and him decide not to. It leads me to believe that are they setting up Donald Trump for yet another attack? Possibly. Like, could it be because when you think about it, he just got reelected, right? He got reelected just last month. And then all of a sudden, in the northern eastern areas of New Jersey, around Trump's hangout area, there are these so-called drones. Okay. And there was an assassination attempt on Trump back in, I believe, June or July before he was reelected. Could this be a situation where, if we're talking about this being UFOs, possibly, and aliens being involved, right? And I might sound crazy for putting this out there, but I really don't care because this is something I've been thinking about. And it could really happen. It could have really been the plan. You just never know. Because my thing is, I'm not trying to go along with what the news is saying. With all these mainstream sources and what they're telling me and what they're telling the entire public. Because it's all just a bunch of baloney, in my opinion. That they're just trying to neuter our brain once again and to toss it aside, that, making us think this is not a big deal. This is not nothing serious. The news media, they love to hide information. That's what they do. They suppress information. And they think we're dumb. They think that we're docile. They think that we don't know anything. Right? And a lot of conspiracy theorists, they've been on point when it comes to this whole alien thing. I do believe so. I do believe aliens exist. And I think there are some people out there that are aliens, but in human form. Yes, indeed. I do believe that. And so I believe that Donald Trump avoiding going on vacation to Bedminster, he could have possibly, avoided and ducked in another assassination attempt, possibly, right? Or at the very least, I should say, an alien abduction. Could it be possible that Donald Trump avoided an alien abduction? What do y'all think? Let me know in the comment section. But this is what came to my mind. And it may sound crazy to you listening, but once again, I'm utilizing my brain here, people. Like, I am someone that's not going along with the usual mainstream information, suppressed information. These are things like what you read on CNN News, New York Post, New York Magazine, what you read on NBC. Like, they tell you the same stuff. They tell you the same information. They're telling you that these are drones. Why would drones be up in the sky for this long, for a whole month? Since November 18th, you would think they would lost power by now. Something just doesn't add up. Something is not adding up. Okay? Donald Trump had a reason not to go to Bedminster, New Jersey for his vacation. I'm thinking to myself, maybe he avoided an alien abduction. You can call me crazy. It is what it is, but that's what I choose to believe. Because you think about the first assassination attempt with Donald Trump before he got reelected, and he just got reelected last month, November. And then after he got reelected, 2 months later, here comes these quote unquote drone sightings around the area where Donald Trump is going on vacation. Um, there's no way that this is a coincidence. It just can't be a coincidence. So I don't know, man. There's a lot more than what meets the eye, and then this requires us to do our research and to use our discernment. Like, is this a sign of things to come for the worst heading into 2025? And personally, I do think this is the beginning of the Most High's judgment for, the state of New Jersey, or just these northern states in general, right? And, it definitely doesn't look good. And I can see why people are in suspense and they're a little bit fearful because if you live in New Jersey, you don't want to be one of those people that shoots down these so-called drones. And then what if something happens to where, I don't know, some weird mystical being comes from the sky and infiltrates your home or something? I don't know. I'm just I'm just guessing at this point, right? And some ends horribly, right? You just never know what bad could happen if you were to shoot down one of those things. They could be Minecrafts, they could be a UFO, whatever. But I really doubt at this point these are drones. And this is something that we should really not take lightly, because if the news is going to take something lightly, that means that there's a lot for them to hide. They're definitely hiding a lot. And I think Donald Trump, he knows a lot more than we do. That's why he is avoiding going on to his vacation, you know? And the government, they're not handling this situation well at all, right? And look, there's a lot of laws when it pertains to operating a drone in New Jersey. If you're going to operate a drone in New Jersey, you must first comply with the Federal Aviation Administration, the regulations, right? And that applies nationwide. And it says here that when you register your drone, right, all drones have to weigh between 0.55 pounds and 55 pounds, and it must be registered with the FAA. And this ensures that drones are identifiable and traceable. And if you are going to fly a drone for commercial purposes, you must obtain a remote pilot certificate by passing the FAA, Part 107 exam. So, in these drones, they must fly below 400 feet and remain within the pilot's visual line of sight to where you can see them. You know what I'm saying? And so there's a lot of rules and regulations to these, to operating drones. And there are consequences if one of these drones that you're using, it inflicts it harms other people, right? It harms other civilians, possibly kids. There's definitely there's definitely a lot of offenses to that. So there's definitely a lot of risk in operating a drone. But I'm saying like these drones, they have to have a limited battery life. There's no way they could be up in that sky for that long. No way. Not a month. There's no way. So I just think with the whole mysterious drone sightings in Jersey, I think it's BS. I really do. If you know the news media at this point, they know more than us, and like they're aware of more information. They're more in the know, right? Than we are, because they see things and they're not trustworthy all the time. So they're not always going to be a reliable source. So this is where we all have to use our brain. We have to use our thoughts and use discernment. So, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. And, you know, I'm definitely going to do some more research on this and see what I can find. But these are my thoughts. This is my take on the whole situation. And in my opinion, I think aliens, they do exist and there might be some involvement with them, you know. So, with that being said, this is Warrior for Christ. Make sure y'all like, comment, and share, and more content is to come. Thank y'all for watching.